Hello, Wolverine Nation. Tonight, we kick off the 2022 regular season facing off against the Calvary Christian Eagles. Tonight, I am here with my co-hosts,
Adrian Vidal.
And I'm Brandon de Quesada.
All right, so it's the official start of a brand new season for Wolverine football, and let me just say, I am excited for our offense this year. I mean, our starting quarterback, Andy Miares, is looking to lead the offense this year in his third year as a starter quarterback. He's been playing starter for the last 2 years, and this is going to be his third year. You can find him on the field wearing number 16 on his jersey and passing to his favorite receiver, Bryce Fitzgerald.
It looks like the starting running back is Alexander Kamani. I mean, Kamani's been running very well. His second guy is Bo Jackson. Bo Humphrey, my fault. And he looks to lead the running attack this game. I mean, he's been looking very nice in practice. I talked to Coach. Coach telling him that he's getting a lot of reps in, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Right.
So tonight, on the defensive side, we're going to see a brand new defense from the Wolverines to combat the three-man option that the Eagles run. They're going to be running a five-man defensive line front containing Mike Suarez, Javier Brito, and Davion Dixon on the inside, and Gavinich Marcelin and Andres Rionda on the outside. And here they come, about to run. Here come the Wolverines. Wow.
The entire stadium is really hyped up tonight. I mean, it's our kickoff game. We're all stoked to be here.
Yeah. Also, there won't be a single high safety tonight. There's going to be two box safeties, two linebackers, and two cornerbacks. The starters at cornerback will be Tyler Brown and Nick Sanchez. Ortega will also be rotating in. At linebacker, Joey Toledo and Chanley Pierre will be leading the charge. And at safety, Stefan Borrero and Lucas Amaya will be containing there on the outside.
Now, we've been talking a lot about the defense. Let's talk more about the offense. Henry, anything about that?
Yeah, so from what I've heard, our O-line is actually really young, to be honest. 3 of the starting O-line are sophomores, and 2 of them are juniors. With Aiden De Oliveira, who else is under the O-line?
Oh, we have, I believe,
Christian Cueto,
Cueto, and I believe
Hector Saldana.
Yeah, thank you. And I think Davion Dixon's also on the O-line, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
I don't think so. He's on the D-line, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Not only that, but other running backs, as I mentioned, Bo, and also, how can we forget the notorious Rubio? He scored a touchdown last game, I'm pretty sure, in the preseason. And,
I mean, what else about our defense? You had an interview yesterday with Coach Crow, right?
Yes, I got the chance to sit down with Coach Crow yesterday, and here's what he said. Coach, thank you for sitting down with us. Welcome to Belen. How has your time been so far?
It's been everything I imagined and more. Honestly, ever since moving down here to South Florida 4 years ago, you start hearing, certain schools and what they're all about and everything. And sometimes they like to brag who they are, but this isn't lip service here. You get a top-notch education and athletic program here at Belen, so I couldn't be happier to be a part of this.
Awesome. So you've been with the team for a little bit now. What are some strengths that you see, and what are some goals that you have for the team during the season?
Yeah, so coming in, I was just started to get to know the guys a little bit during the summertime, and now that, we had our first preseason game, you can start seeing who's rising to the top to try and take those leadership roles for our, I'm primarily on the defense, so I see the defense a lot more. And there's some guys that in the game, things started happening, and we had to put other guys in, and they really stepped up. And some are young guys. We're playing a freshman that just got here to Belen. We're playing a guy that never really played football before, and it's really exciting to see them really start developing and using those tools that we've been really pressing during practices, and see them happening out there on the field during the game.
So now, last week's game, what did you tell the players at halftime to motivate them to hold the Raiders scoreless after a 31-0 deficit?
I just told them, this is the first game, and everyone has jitters the first game. They're a little nervous. They don't play to what they're capable of or what we were preparing for. So I said, just take a deep breath. We come back out there, we regroup, and we do the things and execute the things that we were preparing for all week. And they finally settled down, and they were able to hold them to not really any points at all. So I told them, you got to take that second half that we played and use that for the rest of the season now that it counts this coming Friday.
Yeah. After looking at the film from Calvary Christian, what was the focus in practice this week to learn from last week?
Absolutely. They love to run the football. They're kind of like a triple option team. So if you ever watched Army or Navy play football, they're a run heavy team, and if you're not disciplined and you don't do your job at the time every single play, then that's when they gash you for a long run. So I told the guys, you can't worry about what the guy next to you is doing. You got to do your 1/11th on the field. If your responsibility is at a certain play to go tackle the fullback, tackle the fullback. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Just do your job. And if everyone does their job on the field, we will come out with a victory.
So how much time did you spend focusing on that 3-man option that they run?
We spent combined with my wife being mad at me for watching a lot of film at night and not watching the newborn, combined with probably about 2 hours every day out here on the field, and then bringing guys in to watch film. It's been a lot of preparation because the guys are really starting to buy in and really want to be successful. So they're trying to do whatever they can to make sure we come out with a victory on Friday.
So, Coach, a lot of people don't know that you were a former NFL safety and college coach. Now living in Miami, are you a Dolphins fan or not?
Yeah. A little bit of Dolphins fan, only because if you guys are a Dolphins fan, obviously Jalen Phillips went to the University of Miami, and I trained him for 2 years. So me and him have a good, close connection. So I pull for him a little bit now. So you guys got me a little bit as a fan.
Do you still talk to him, or?
Yeah, of course. We talk probably once, maybe twice a month, just check in, make sure he's good. And he always shoots me a text if he needs a place to work out. So I guess maybe you'll start seeing him around campus here instead of UM. We'll try and bribe him over here, especially when the new buildings go.
Wow. And finally, what skills that you learned as a professional safety and college coach have you applied on your players or plan to teach them?
No, it's all about just discipline and just showing up with a good attitude, because there's a lot of times where they might have a competition at a certain position or something, and they shy away from that competition, and they might not think that they're good enough to be able to compete for that starting spot. They want things easy, right? And anybody knows, just life in general, it's not easy. You got to go fight for what you want, and you got to go compete for that position. And I keep pushing the guys, and I'm trying to create that culture of, at every position, I want 2-3 guys that at any point can go in the game and do really well, not just we have our starters and that's it. No, I want there to be a good depth chart on there where they have to bring their A game every practice. And so that pushes the team even more.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Of course.
Good luck tonight.
I appreciate it.
of the class of 2023 who last year passed away. And his classmates and the football team are dedicating this season to him. And so we pray for the repose of his soul and for his family. We also pray for the repose of the soul of referees Rick Abrams, the father of our head referee this evening who passed away, and Abraham Dawson, asking the Lord that they both be in the presence of our Lord. So let us pray. Heavenly Father, good and gracious God, we give you so much thanks for the opportunity to play the game of football. We pray for the repose of the soul of these three men, our brothers, who today will be watching this game from heaven next to you, that their prayers and intercession may protect us and guide us, keep the players safe. We ask that you keep our referees this evening safe. We pray for the coaches and the two school communities that gather together. We ask all this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good evening and welcome to a WBLN presentation and the Wolverines 2022 season opener game. I'm Javier Fernandez and I'm joined by Bobby Caballero. Bobby, how are you today?
Good, and you, Javi?
I'm doing good, thank you, Bobby. Bobby, what are we looking out for today?
Last week, the Wolverines lost their preseason game, which has led the players and coaches to have a focused mindset. This whole week, they've worked hard and tweaked every mistake they had in the game. Everyone is excited to watch the Wolverines in their season opener, and I'm sure they'll fight and hopefully they get the win.
Yeah, we're looking at a brand new look here. They've already changed some things. We have Bo out on the kickoff. He was not last time. Bryce gonna return it alone, all the way in the back.
If you're watching the pregame show, you heard that Coach Crow switched up the defense to cover the triple option that Calvary Christian runs. You know, it's a really dangerous offense when you have a quick quarterback, and hopefully Belen can counter it.
Another thing to note, Calvary Christian won the toss, and they deferred to the second half. So Belen will start with the ball. Bryce Fitzgerald set to return. We saw what he could do last week against Gulliver. Bobby, can you describe that to us?
Which later in the game brought us back.
Yeah, that's right. That late touchdown that he scored was one of 2 touchdowns that Belen scored later in that game. Calvary Christian is set to kick off. Kicker number 17. Lining up for the kick. And it's off and away. It will be a touchback. Belen's offense will come out onto the field, led by Andres Miares, who put up 2 touchdowns last week through the air.
Even though they don't count, preseason games are a good gauge of where the team is at the beginning of the year, but Belen put in a lot of practice this week, and I feel like they're a whole new team. You know, they tweaked their mistakes, and they're being led out here by Andres Miares, who had a nice game in the second half, but in the first half he wasn't doing that good, but he turned it up, and the team really started to get going, but it was just a bit too late.
Yeah, the team is definitely hoping for a major improvement from last game. They struggled, and here they are favored to win, but they've got a lot of new weapons that Mianes has got to work with, as they lost each of their top 3 receivers last year to transfers and graduation. Bobby, who is going to step up this year at wide receiver?
Well, obviously at wide receiver 1 is Bryce Fitzgerald, who really he popped off last year at JV, and he did so good, so he got moved up to varsity last year, and he had a couple touchdowns, and there's a fumble there.
On
and
the
a
opening
sack.
play, Miares drops the snap. It looked to be a bit off to his right, and he falls down on it. Now, not the best way to start, but a good job by Miares, staying disciplined, falling on the ball rather than trying to make a play, and it could end up in something horrible. We've already seen him mature throughout the season from last year now to this year.
Miares didn't look ready there. I think the center snapped it before the count, but I don't think that should affect the drive this much because Belen looks like they're coming out passing, so maybe they'll get a lot of yards here.
That's correct, Bobby. We got 3 receivers and 1 running back. They'll give it to Kamani. He bobbles it early and is stopped a yard or 2 behind the line. It's going to be 3rd and 16.
That was pretty bad blocking there. The linebackers recognized the play and they shot, and there wasn't really a hole, so Calvary Christian was able to corral the running back.
Now, something to note, we have had multiple lightning delays, to be exact 2, and we can still see lightning here from the booth quite far out. So we are definitely expecting something to possibly go down. Just over 10.5 minutes into the game, 3rd and long. Is Belen looking to pass here?
I mean, obviously. I mean, unless they don't want to get pinned back in their own territory, I think they'll run it here. But if they want the first down, they'll throw it.
Miares throwing, it's tipped low to Bryce Fitzgerald, and it's going to go incomplete. A good job by the Calvary Christian defensive lineman. That was number 49 there making the play.
There were a couple mistakes on that drive. You know, it brought them back a lot of yards. So now the punt team comes out.
Yeah, Justin Otero blocking the pass there. Good job getting up and blocking it. Now Belen is set to punt far inside their own territory. Though we know Noah Zumbano can punt it really far. Hopefully send it beyond the 40. Number 20 is going to return for Calvary Christian here, today's opponent.
Although it isn't a district game, it's always important to win your first game, you know, get good momentum. So, and a shanked punt there. And it bounces backwards. Not a good punt there. Almost blocked.
Really interesting. It bounced off Kamani Alexander's head and took a bad angle. Not a good bounce. Calvary Christian going to start with great field position on the 30. And the Belen defense is going to have to hold off Calvary Christian because they're already in field goal range.
Well, Belen's defense, especially the D-line, is really good. You know, Davion Dixon, Gavin Marceline, they're really powerful, and they could get to the QB or the running back.
Yeah, I saw a nice little lightning strike there. We're looking at a brand new defensive formation that we haven't seen. The coaches bring in Coach Crow. We've heard a lot of good things about him. And here it is, 5 defensive linemen going to counter that triple option. Let's see how it goes here.
You could
First
see
play.
Tyler Brown, cornerback, pinching in.
And an early handoff up the middle. He keeps on going, breaking through tackles. He'll go down, picking up 9 yards on the play. A successful first run for Calvary Christian.
The tackle there by Davion Dixon, who was able to run back, and despite the running back breaking tackles, he just jumped on him.
Sorry, that was about a 7-yard gain. Davion Dixon, one of these stars on these defensive line, multiple offers. And I'm really excited to see what he can do this season just in his sophomore year. The handoff, going up the middle, down out to the right. He makes his way down to the 16-yard line, a good run.
Even though Belen's blitzing and pinching in, it looks like the Calvary offensive line is blocking really well against the defensive line, and they're opening big holes, and the running backs are just getting free space.
Yeah, went right between the guard and the tackle there. A great run by Calvary Christian. Inside the 20, in the red zone here. Number 7 at QB, yet to throw the ball. 2 runs, this is what we're expecting a lot of today. Calvary Christian likes to run the ball. Off the snap, the handoff to the running back. Number 4 breaks the tackle. He's going for the end zone. To the outside, he's brought down by number 25. An excellent tackle by the Wolverine. That's Nicholas Sanchez, who last week almost had an interception.
Yeah, he had a great pick. He got up there, but it was called back because of a flag. This Belen team is likes to grind and grit, you know. Instead of letting the play go and the guy run past him, he worked hard to make sure he didn't get to the end zone.
Calvary Christian with the substitution struggling. Players not sure where they're supposed to be. Finally finding their places. Setting up the snap. Inside the 10-yard line. It's a handoff up the middle. It's not going to go much anywhere. He will be down on the 1-yard line. Calvary Christian just 1 yard from scoring 6 points to start off this game.
Even though they haven't thrown the ball yet, their offense is looking really powerful. And Belen has stacked the box the entire drive. So let's see if the goal line defense can hold up.
Yeah, we got some young corners here. Tyler Brown, number 7 to be exact, a star corner. And they're going at a really interesting formation. Multiple tight ends, 3 backs. Let's see what they do. It's a handoff up the middle, and he's going to score a touchdown. Calvary Christian punches in 6 points. After a short field, they're able to go march downfield and take an easy lead.
I mean, early in the game, a score is never good because it's a momentum setter. But this Belen team is very focused, and I don't think it's going to let them affect them.
Yeah, hopefully a lot that we can learn off from the first drive, both on offense and on defense. And the extra point is set, number 17, to kick the extra point. Set for the extra point. It's up, and it's good. And someone looks to be down, a Wolverine player, down on the field on the 8-yard line. Struggling to get back up. He does. He's jogging off the field. That was number 15, Stefan Borrero.
He's a really important player to this team. He's a veteran. He's super fast. He ran a 4.65 40. He plays cornerback, safety, wide receiver, returner, running back. He can do anything, and he's a really big part of this team.
Yeah, he's got one of the fastest 40 times on this team. And out to return, we're going back. Christian Soto, Bryce Fitzgerald, and Bo Humphrey are set to return. Are they going to take it back this time? They didn't take back many kicks, only one against that game at Gulliver, and they let this one go at the touchback. If Bryce can take it back, we can get a big play here that can start some momentum. Is that right, Bobby?
Yeah, these players are the fastest on the team. These guys are really speedy, especially Christian Soto, who he plays lacrosse, he does track, he's super fast.
Set to kick off, number 17 again. A 7-0 lead, 8 minutes and 11 seconds left in the first quarter. Bryce Fitzgerald in the middle, set to return. The kickoff is underway. It's a high kick. And Bo's going to go for it. He drops it. Calvary Christian picks it up at the 23-yard line. Oh, and a crucial mistake. Right through his hands and down on the 23. The Wolverine defense is coming back out onto the field.
That ball had a really fast spiral. It's really hard to get that ball, especially when it's short and you have to run up to it. It's a really hard play to make. If it was me back there, I would have let the ball go, but it's very hard when you're down there and there's a lot of stuff going on in your mind.
Yeah, very difficult to judge that because Belen has had every kick go into the end zone this year, and then all of a sudden that ball is down on the 23, not knowing what to do, just not prepared for that. As the Calvary Christians offense back out again with the same formation as last time, 2 receivers, 3 backs, 5 offensive linemen, and the defense is ready. This 5 defensive lineman set is here for the second drive of the game, hopefully to make a stop.
Even though they're going run heavy, Belen is running 2 safeties, and it looks like there's a flag on the play.
Offsides, jumping, that's number 99 on defense. Andres Rionda got caught by the hard count. As a man went in motion, he was caught jumping, and now it's going to be 1st and 5 for Calvary Christian.
When a team's going to run heavy, you really want to get a jump start and stop the run, and he got caught lacking there.
Calvary set up on the right hash mark. In motion, looking to do the same play again. It's a flip to the outside. He's got by Gavin Schmarsel, and he's going to get tackled by Stefan Borrero down at the 7-yard line. And a good tackle there by Stefan. Great outside containment as Gavin Schmarsland was not able to catch up on the sweep. A good play there by Calvary Christian.
Yeah, this Calvary offense has yet to throw the ball, and they're just running all over Belen.
This offense has been really good today and has not been stopped. Every single one of their runs going for 5 yards or more, it feels like. 2 receivers, they're splitting out on each side. 1st and 10. The handoff to number 5. He cuts it back, but he's tackled. And a great tackle by number 28. That's Lucas Amaya. Great job by him, the outside linebacker, making the play.
Amaya plays safety and linebacker. He's short, but he's very stocky, and he hits very hard.
Yeah, Amaya, one of the more built players on this team. He's done a really good job this year. And great way to open up this season. He had a good 11th grade year. Now coming in as a senior, he's one of those leaders on the defense. As we lost a couple linebackers last year, and he's taking apart that role. Calvary Christian offense set with 1 wide receiver all the way to your right. In motion again. Fake the flip. They're going to pass to number 33 in motion, and he's going to catch a touchdown on the outside. Calvary Christian takes a 13-0 lead with 6:40 in the first quarter.
Well, you could see the entire team bit because Calvary Christian's just been running the ball, and they did a play-action rollout, and the guy was wide open, and he was able to run it in for the touchdown.
Calvary Christian's first pass of the game results in a touchdown. The fake handoff, play-action boot could not have been executed more well. And this team has done a great job on offense here. And the Belen Wolverines, let's just say we can hope that they can get something started on offense. As the extra point is good. Number 17, 2 of 2 on the extra points. We'll be back in a minute. And back out to kick, number 17, making his 5th appearance today on the kickoff. Bryce is set to return. They're changing it up once again. Anthony Rubio is also set back. Christian Soto joining all of them. The kick is up and away. It's going to be short again. On the 20, Anthony Rubio to return. Going up the middle, trying to go on the outside, and he's stuffed. He ends up where he caught it, down on the 21-yard line.
A good try there to get a big play for Belen, trying to break one. A great catch because that ball has a really weird spiral, and that's what made Bo fumble before.
Well, Belen looking out. They have Kamani Alexander, their leading rusher last year. He averaged almost 80 rushing yards per game, the most efficient running player on that offense last year. He's out there today. We got four three wide receivers and a tight end. That's Justin Felix at tight end. Miatis going under center. The handoff to Kamani Alexander. He's got his first big hole of the day, but a linebacker is there to make the tackle. It's going to be a 2-yard pickup for Belen.
These linebackers for Calvary Christian are blitzing every play, and our run game is not working.
Second down.
Possibly sets a throw. That is a good point, Bobby. We've got a couple of wide receivers in. Anthony Rubio, one of them, who had a great game at running back. He's playing wide receiver today in the slot. Bobby, what can we expect from him?
I mean, he's a jack of all trades. He could play any position you want. I mean, he's a speedster. He can make really quick moves, and he could catch really well.
Yeah, Anthony Rubio, if I'm correct, had a rushing touchdown. He's the first scorer of the game for Belen last week. And he's in motion. They're going to fake it to him. They're giving it to Kamani. Anthony Rubio, the lead blocker. That's not going to go anywhere. Just back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Belen is set to pass here as they're bringing in a couple wide receivers.
A similar start to the preseason game where Belen tried to go run heavy and it didn't really work out. I think they need to start passing the ball if they want to succeed.
Well, Miatis, he's got the play. And Belen, their passing offense did well last game. 1 touchdown to Bryce Fitzgerald on a corner near the end of the game. This offense needs to start to pick up through the passing game. That starts with Miatis. We know he's got a good arm, and he can pass the ball downfield. Maybe a deep shot here on 3rd and 7. Miatis rolling out, immediate pressure. He's sacked. He loses the ball. It's number 42 that picks it up on the 20-yard line. And the Belen defense is coming back out onto the field after another turnover by the Belen offense.
Belen has given up 2 touchdowns. They've had 2 turnovers only in the first quarter. Not a good look here early.
I don't think you can blame that one on Miatis. There were 3 guys in the backfield there. He was just getting swarmed. Didn't even get a chance to throw it away. This offense has been struggling. Everybody on this offense. And the defense is back out. And the question is, what are they going to try to do?
I mean, if I was them, I would stick to the same defense because they're going run heavy. I just don't think that they should play too run heavy because, like, on the touchdown, they got beat.
Well, Belen is calling a timeout. We will be back in a minute. Calvary Christian back out on offense. 1st and 10 on the 22-yard line. They've got 2 wide receivers out, 3 backs on the field. Defense has got to make a stop here. Hopefully hold them just to a field goal.
Finally, there's a wide receiver on the right side. You know, we haven't seen much of that.
It's number 80 on the right side. In motion. It'll be a handoff up the middle. No, he fakes it. It's a pitch to the outside. That's number 18, the receiver. He's got a lane upfield. He's going to go all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Calvary Christian.
That play worked perfectly. Just like the play-action pass, it faked out the entire defense, and number 18 was able to run to the end zone.
I mean, all credit has to go to the QB there. An excellent fake. I thought he handed it off. He started stumbling. While stumbling, pitched it, and making their way around. Calvary Christian going to take a 20-0 lead. 4:51 left here in the first.
That's the triple option that they love to run. I mean, it worked perfect there. The QB was supposed to take it, but he pitched it.
The extra point set to go up again. And it's good for the 3rd time now. On the bright side, Belen has gotten close to blocking each one of these extra points. And we will be back in a minute when Belen's offense comes back out on the field. the kickoff once again. Number 17, the kick. Here a toe kick. Out on the 20. Christian Soto set to field it. Taking it up the middle. He's got a couple blocks. He stumbles over to the 32-yard line. The best play on offense for Belen isn't even on offense. It's on special teams. Christian Soto, the backup running back, making a great play there.
He's very explosive, you know. He's very stocky, you know. He's very strong. He's very fast. You know, he could hit you and he could run by you.
This is a team loaded with running backs. I'd love to see him getting more playing time. Kamani Alexander will be the back set, and we still have 3 wide receivers. Miad is calling the play now. 3 receivers and a tight end. Belen sticking with the same formation since the beginning of the game. 1 back far in the backfield. Kamani Alexander to the outside. He's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. And now we're heading down to Drew. Sorry, we will head down to Drew later. As Andres Miad is coming back on the field, a running back change. Bo Humphrey making the substitution for Kamani Alexander. This rushing offense has had a very tough game today.
Bo's the one that made the turnaround last game. When he started getting carries, we would get a lot of first downs, and then the offense got a spark.
3 receivers out. Miad is set to pass. It's going to Jason Felix, and it's going to be a drop. The offense is struggling every aspect of this team now. They've got to start clicking somehow.
Jaw used to play defense, but now he's switched over to offense. He's really big, you know, and it's a hard pass there because it was a back shoulder pass from Miades, and he lobbed it a little, and it was a back shoulder catch for Jaw.
Something he's just got to shake off, move on to the next play. We know he's better than that. He scored a touchdown or 2 last year. He's a great player, and we'll see it here hopefully on this next play. Bo Humphrey is staying here on running back for 3rd down. Anthony Rubio in the slot. Switching Bryce Fitzgerald and Tyler James. Miadis set to throw again. He's throwing it deep. Bryce Fitzgerald gets by his man. He stops. It's going to be a holding as Bryce Fitzgerald was going down, but there's going to be no flag. He was held trying to make the undercut, trying to get under the cornerback, number 20 on defense there, and he was held down to the ground. No penalty on the play.
I think what the ref is trying to say is that he slipped. He wasn't pulled down, but you could obviously see that they grabbed his arm.
So a very difficult way to start for this offense, and they're set to punt now. Noah Zumpano, his 2nd appearance in this game, and this offense has a lot to talk over right now. Noah Zumpano, a track star, running the 400. He's got a fast time, under 53 seconds. One of the fastest times. He ran in the 4x4 a couple of times. Here he is set to punt. His first punt of the day didn't go too well. This one here going a lot better. Inside the 40. It got dropped. He dropped the ball and he landed back on it. The defense is going to come back out onto the field. The ball will be on the 45-yard line for Calvary Christian.
I believe this is the first time Calvary started on their own side of the field, which is a plus because that was a really good punt, and Belen couldn't capitalize, though.
Yeah, Noah Zumbano got a lot of playing time last game, and here he is with a good punt. Chanley Pierin at linebacker, left outside, and we've got a lot to talk about with him. His second year starting. Last year he was a freshman, and he's just a sophomore. We've got a lot to look forward to with this kid. The handoff up the middle, number 5. He's going to go down, picking up 6-7 yards on the play on the 48-yard line. This rushing attack has been brutal for this Belen defense.
It looks like the middle linebackers keep missing their marks, and they keep not being able to get their tackles, which is why they keep getting lots of yards.
Well, they are sticking with 5 defensive linemen. One of those, Andres Rionda here, the one you can see on your screen. Number 99, the left end. Here playing contain, Davion Dixon in the middle. He's going head-on against the center. We'll see what he can do here on this next play. 3 backs in the backfield and a timeout. Calvary Christian. Calvary Christian takes a timeout. We'll be back in a minute. The Belen defense back out onto the field here. 2nd and 3, Calvary Christian. They put in an extra tight end now, taking out a receiver. 3 running backs, 1 man in motion. Looking to pitch it to him. No, the quarterback's going to take it. He's going to get taken down. That's Davion Dixon, big man number 60, the sophomore, with the sack.
Nico Leon saw the read, so he went to go cover the running back, which made the quarterback have to run, and Davion ultimately got the tackle.
We spent a lot of time here talking about the stars on the defensive line. There's a lot of them, but this offensive line is incredibly deep. Sorry, this defensive line is incredibly deep. Nick Leon, one of those guys coming off the bench, he's played really well here for the Wolverines. The offense here coming back out. 3 wide receivers now for Calvary Christian. A look you have not seen so far today. Let's see what they do with it. 3rd and 6. The snap, he's set to throw. It's a slant to number 80. Up in the air, it's picked off. It's picked off. Chanley Pierre is returning it. Chanley down the left sideline. He's tackled down on the 27. Chanley Pierre gets the pick off the deflection, and Calvary Christian's first pass of the game is intercepted.
Well, it wasn't their first pass because their first pass was a great play by Belen. We were just talking about Chanley. He's an athlete. He returned a kick for a touchdown in middle school on the middle school team. I was actually on that team, and we got really hyped for him. And a big moment here for Belen. Let's see if they can capitalize.
Chanley Pierre, don't mistake his size. He's still got a lot of speed, and a great play here to get this crowd energized. The first time we've seen this level of energy today. And the Wolverines offense is in plus territory inside the 30-yard line, hoping to knock in a couple points today.
Could you see who tipped the pass? Because I couldn't see. They made a really good defensive play.
I think that was Tyler Brown. It's a sweep to Rubio. He's got an opening, and he's going to go down. He's going to get tackled on the 22-yard line.
He is such a great runner, and now this Belen team is all standing up. Everyone's gathered around where the ball is, and they're getting hype on the sideline.
Yeah, we're looking at the same 3 receivers all game. Kamani Alexander is back in on running back, and a great play call there by the offensive coordinator, Don, who's now calling the offensive plays. The sweep to Rubio worked perfectly. The offense here set to make another play. Bobby, are they looking to pass here on 1st and 10?
I would go with another run to Rubio because that really worked out, or a run to Kamani, and then they could set up the pass.
Maybe a fake sweep to Rubio would work. It's a handoff directly to Kamani. He's stuffed immediately. He'll lose a yard on the play.
Those inside runs don't seem to be working for Belen, but the outside ones and the short passes usually do work for the team because they have a lot of fast guys who can make plays.
Well, Andres Paredes now talking with the coaches, talking about the play of some sort, as Miatis coming back out onto the field. Miatis, who had that nice pitch to Rubio. Rubio's been running really well this season. In the preseason game, he had a rushing touchdown, and he wasn't even running back. He moved into running back for a couple plays, and he made a ton of huge changes for this team. 3 receivers out on the field. Miatis set to throw it to Kamani. Kamani is about to be tackled. He breaks a tackle, and Kamani will get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe. And the play was just immediately blown up as this Wolverine offense looks like it's very tired as they're constantly getting tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They just got to move the ball downfield.
I mean, outside runs, short passes, medium passes, and instead of deep passes and inside runs will really help out this team.
Yeah, it's set to call out another play. Talking about Bryce Fitzgerald, that throw to him earlier, we know he's got that deep threat. He's probably the best deep threat on this team. He's on the outside right now with Rubio in the slot. On the left side of the field is Tyler James, the junior. Miatis rolling out to his right. He stops, he throws to Fitzgerald, who makes the catch 2 feet in bounds. Bryce Fitzgerald will find his way about an inch or 2 away from the first down.
Even though he's not the biggest, he is probably one of the most physical wide receivers on this team. And if he caught that in open space, he probably would have scored.
He is definitely one of the most athletic players on this team. It's going to be 4th and 1. Belen keeps their offense out on the field. This is their first possession on the other side of the field, and they want to score a touchdown. But they have to do that after the Belen timeout. Well, Belen's offense now out, and it'll be a flag. The QB sneak was set, but I think that might be a false start. And that's what they'll call, backing up 5 yards. The kicking team is coming out on the field.
Lucas Avino out for the kick. He's a sophomore, and he's only played JV before. Last game, he had success on his extra points, and he got his field goal blocked, but that's not really his fault.
Matthew Bartern will be the holder here for this kick. This will be Belen's first points of the game if they get it. Cut the lead to 21-3. He will kick it from the 24-yard line. It will be about a 34-yard kick. The lefty kicker set to kick. It's up and it's blocked. And spinning, and it's going to be down on the 8. Running now 57. They're going to mark him down on the 8-yard line. That's the end of the first quarter, and we will send you to our sideline reporter, Drew Candela.
Line and our very low. It's 21-0, and everyone's bowing their heads. Not a good sign. But one thing Coach Crow has been telling the team was, look, we got to stay focused, vigilant, and athletic on the outside of the ball, because that's where they've been killing us. On the offense side of the ball, Coach Chaney has been telling Miaras, look, we still got to find our groove. But he's just been saying, look, Miaras, stay confident, and again, we're still trying to find our groove. The score is 21-0, but it's because of all the turnovers. You know, we saw Bo Humphrey have one turnover where they're capitalized, and we saw Andres Miares, who also had a fumble due to a sack. But one thing that just happened was there was an interception by Chanley, where we had a good chance to score, but again, our offense wasn't able to capitalize. We're still trying to find our groove. Thanks, boys. Back to you.
Are we trying to find our... Well, thank you, Drew Candela. Coming back out onto the field is the Calvary Christian offense. Our sideline reporter, Drew Candela, coming in with some valuable information and some confusion here with the refs, the defense, everybody on the field, as the refs are set to make an announcement. The second quarter is set to start. They have not blown the whistle for the play to start. And the Calvary Christian offense is backing up now.
Yeah, I think they're placing the ball where the kick landed because I think it dies after it's touched. So I think they marked it to where he returned it.
Well, Calvary Christian's last pass was an interception. They've got 2 wide receivers out on the right side still. They've got about 2 running backs and a tight end. Let's see what Calvary Christian looks to do here. Stefan Borrero is the safety here on this play. Stefan, who's got really good speed, he's playing the contain here. He cannot allow any big runs. Offense set to go. We had an issue. The refs taking a bit of a minute, but here we are. First snap of the second quarter. It's going to be a handoff up the middle and stopped immediately.
That's
Davion Dixon, a great stop.
That's the D-line that we're used to seeing, you know, a lot of power, pushing the O-lineman back into the running back and then just taking him down.
Looks like they just needed the energy from that interception, and this D-line is back to being what we're used to them being. Davion Dixon, Gavin Schmarsland, 2 players on this defensive line who have multiple offers. Gavin Schmarsland, maybe one of his biggest offers from USC with new coach Lincoln Riley. Set for the snap, and he's taking off. The quarterback is running it up the middle, and he's stopped. He's going to continue moving forward. He's going to pick up about 5-6 yards on the play. He was stopped but fell forward. A good job there by the Calvary Christian quarterback.
The tackle there by Joey Toledo, who he played long snapper last year and a little bit of linebacker, but this year he's getting the start as a senior.
Yeah, Joey Toledo, number 54, if I'm correct. There at linebacker. He's been in with Chanley Pierre a bit. Chanley Pierre, who had the interception. We're looking at a 3rd and 3 here. 1 wide receiver in. 3 running backs, 1 tight end. Trying the hard count. Belen not jumping. Set to make a change. Quarterback talking with the coaches. Now with the running backs. It's the handoff up the middle, and he will pick up a yard or 2. It does not look like it'll be enough for the first down. Calvary Christian will have to punt.
A great defensive play there. The defense has really gotten riled up since the interception, but it looks like Calvary Christian is going for it.
Yeah, this is 4th down. They're on their own 22-yard line, and they're staying on the field. An interesting call here by Calvary Christian. It might not be the right call. Let's see if this ends up biting them in the boot. One receiver out, that's number 18. 3 running backs and a tight end. And it's a false start. The left tackle jumped.
The fans got really loud, and I think he misheard, so I think now they're going to go and punt.
Well, maybe they were just out there for a hard count, trying to get Belen to jump off sides. Well, it's not going to work. It's going to work against them as they're set to punt. The punting team is taking the field, and I think that is Bryce Fitzgerald that is going to return the punt.
False start. 4th down. Now the Eagles send down their punting unit.
And that's number 51 coming onto the field for Joey Toledo. That's Jake Camejo, one of the many defensive linemen on this team. We were talking about how deep they are, and we're actually looking at 2 punt returners. Nico Vieto was a punt returner last game. Anthony Rubio, Bryce Fitzgerald set to take this punt.
They move up because if this is the kicker, I believe it is the kicker. He doesn't kick very far, but he kicks the ball in a very weird spiral, so hopefully they don't fumble.
Set for the punt. It looks like it's possibly a timeout. No, it's going to be a referee stoppage real quick. And they're moving the ball back even more. Another 5 yards. We don't know what that is. No signals from the referee. But that'll pin them on the 12-yard line. So punting from the 12-yard line as our returners move upfield. They're both set on the 40-yard line. Ready to make this return. The punt is up and away. It was almost blocked. Bryce is going to be the one to return. Clean catch. And he's tackled from behind. Bryce Fitzgerald down on the 50.
He's very explosive. He made one move, he tried to miss, but he just got corralled by the defense.
Well, coming out onto the field, that's number 88, if I'm correct. That is Ethan Barosela. He was coming in and out the whole game from the first drive to the very last drive. Looked to be more of a run-blocking tight end. The freshman, we hope to see more of him here, possibly getting him into the passing game.
Something we failed to recognize last time was on Anthony Rubio's touchdown, he made a crucial block where he pancaked the guy and Rubio was able to score.
Yeah, good job there. Ethan Barosela, tight end, probably the leading block tight end. 2 running backs in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Kamani Alexander, who thought he got stuffed early, somehow made it through, picks up 9 yards. A good run by Kamani Alexander. Just a yard away from the first down, 2nd and 1.
When he gets open space, he's guaranteed at least 5 or 6 yards. He's a really tall person, so he could stretch forward for a lot more yards than the average running back.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of open space, though. He got stopped early, somehow broke away from that tackle, and continued going forward. He broke a tackle from the linebacker down, picking up 9 yards. Yeah, just going to hand it off to Rubio, going to the outside, cutting it back now. Rubio upfield, and a good run. That'll pick up another 10 yards. That'll put him on the 32-yard line. This running game is really starting to work well with Rubio and Alexander in the backfield.
If there's one thing that Rubio does better than having great speed is following his blockers. You know, he always seems to follow his blockers, and that's why he always gets positive yards.
Kamani Alexander averaged just over 71 rushing yards per game. Anthony Rubio just over 45. These 2 guys did a great job splitting carries and picking up a lot of yards. The fake to Rubio, the fake to Alexander, throwing it deep. It's underthrown. Oh, and it went off the quarterback's hand, right by Bryce Fitzgerald's head. And that'll be an incomplete pass.
It was nearly picked off. Belen's kind of lucky it wasn't. Bryce had some separation there, but I think that was great coverage from the defense.
Yeah, good point there. He was just right behind him and a bit underthrown. He was able to get a good hand on it. Sticking with the two running backs, it looks like, as Rubio and Alexander are still on the field. Haven't seen a lot of receiver rotation. We know it's a deep receiver room. We saw a lot of it last year, not too much this year. And it looks like the referees are going to call a quick stoppage. It's going to be a timeout, Belen. We'll be back in a minute. We'll back out onto the field here, the Belen Wolverines offense. 2nd and 10.
This double running back formation has really worked out for them so far.
And there's going to be a flag flying here. 7-yard pickup, Kamani Alexander right up the middle, weaving through blockers. A good job by Alexander.
Alexander to carry, flag on the field.
There's a flag on the field. We'll see what that is. The offense is heading back. And they're going to have to move back even more, it looks like.
I believe it was a holding. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Offensive holding will push the Wolverines back.
So I'll push them back another 10 yards. Kamani Alexander, Anthony Rubio have looked really well. The passing game hasn't really worked through the first quarter, or as we're halfway through the second quarter, just has not worked at all. But this running game has, and it's been a lot of Kamani Alexander, Anthony Rubio splitting time, splitting carries, and it's worked well.
Yeah, you could see great blocks there from number 50, Tony Gonzalez. He's really one of the only offensive linemen who's getting down there and making blocks down the field.
Yeah, Tony Gonzalez, a sophomore. Here, he's been on varsity for about 2 years now. Quite experienced for a sophomore, just like Davion Dixon was on that defensive line, making a ton of tackles. And it looks like Bryce Fitzgerald is going to go wide here on this play. And coming back to the huddle now, looks like there's some confusion with the offense. And a bit of a delay as we're waiting here. Running through the field, trying to set what looks to be the chains. The chains are messed up. And a lot just going wrong here for the Belen Wolverines. As they're set for what looks to be a 2nd and 15. Bobby, what do you want the Wolverines to do here?
I mean, a short pass to Rubio, I think, or Kamani, will be explosive. They wouldn't expect it because we haven't thrown it so far. Or just a deep pass. You know, they could try the deep pass to Bryce again, but number 20 is a really good corner.
Well, Zach Sunderland coming back out on the field, taking off Bryce Fitzgerald. Zach Sunderland didn't get a whole lot of playing time in the preseason game, but he got a lot of playing time last year, and he made the most of it. Got a touchdown or two, if I remember correctly. Found his way in the end zone a couple times. I'm pretty sure he even caught one from Matthew Barturin, who's now playing free safety.
Even though the Belen team's down 21 points, the fans do not care. They're being really loud.
Miata set to pass, hit as he threw. He's still throwing it deep into the hands of Zach Sunderland. It went off the hands of both defensive players. Number 21, the safety, and Zach Sunderland is able to walk into the end zone. Extraordinary play.
The second time this has happened to Calvary Christian where they tipped the ball, but this time Belen gets a touchdown.
You got a great substitution. Bryce Fitzgerald was in. They take him out. Zach Sunderland, first target of the season. It's a touchdown and a deep one. Belen is really starting to cut out this lead now. 6-0, their first points of the game. Just over Just over 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Lucas Avino set to kick the extra point. And I mean, what a play by Zach Sunderland. A good job staying patient, reading the ball. It gets tipped, and a good job there. And a great delivery by Andres Miares.
That's why the tip drill is so important, which, if you're not familiar with, it's a drill in practice where, and the fake.
Matthew Barturin rolling out. He throws. He's hit as he throws. Number 21 redeeming himself for allowing that touchdown.
As I was saying before, the tip drill is a practice drill where someone gets in your face, they either tip the ball up or they let it go in between their hands, and you have to keep your eye on the ball to catch it. And it looks like Zach has had a lot of practice with that.
Yeah, and a good job. A great delivery by Andres Miares. You might think the throw was short, but he got hit as he threw, and he still delivered the ball 35 yards plus. A great throw by him, and Zach Sunderland, a great job reading it, getting into the end zone. And the kickoff team is set to come out. A fake extra point, something I don't think anybody expected. It did get stopped. That was Matthew Barturin, who had some time at quarterback last year and throughout his Belen career. He's playing free safety, but he can still throw and he can run. The kicker is Lucas Avino again. We had a different kicker last game, but now that was Adrian Moye who kicked the last game. We have Lucas Avino kicking now. Lucas Avino, who just kicked the kickoffs. He's now kicking both kickoffs and field goals and extra points. The lefty kicker set to send it off. Number 5 is a returner for Calvary Christian. Wolverines special teams getting ready. Avino set to kick. It's a good one. Back of the end zone. It's going to be a touchback.
I think that's Belen's first touchback of the season, and a great kick by him.
Yeah, the sophomore, his first touchback, a great milestone for him as the defense comes out onto the field, and they only have to start. The offense is starting of Calvary Christian on the 20-yard line. This is the worst field position that they've had all game, and I'm sure the Belen defense is delighted about this.
Well, last time they were this far back, they had a couple penalties, and they had to punt out of their own end zone, which led to I believe, a Belen score, if I'm correct.
You are correct about that, Bobby. We're looking at 2 corners out here now. One of them, Tyler Brown, the freshman, who started all through the preseason game and now through the regular season game. And he has not disappointed. Another one who has been starting is Michael Sanchez. Got one running back, possibly set to pitch. He does, to number 5. He's making his way to the outside. He makes a move. He breaks a tackle. He's down on the 41. The tackle made by Javier Brito, coming from the defensive line to make that tackle. Good chase down by Javier Brito.
That was a great pitch. He was hit while he pitched it, and it looked like Belen almost had it, but number 5 was able to get it and run for a lot of yards.
Yeah, and it was a design pitch. The QB was taking it. If he was going to get tackled, he would pitch it out, and if not, the running back would be set to block anybody in his way. And another timeout here. It's Calvary Christian. We'll be back again in a minute.
Timeout.
Well, the offense back out on the field for Calvary Christian. An interesting look here. 3 receivers and faking the run. Quarterback up the middle. He gets slammed by Davion Dixon and Javi Brito. Only a 2-yard pickup for Calvary Christian.
It looks like this running game isn't really working out anymore for Calvary Christian, unlike it did early in this game. So do you think they will go to passing or try more of the triple options?
The triple option has worked the best for them today. I mean, they did have a touchdown, but it was just something Belen did not expect. The next time they threw was a pick, and it took them all the way down to the 30-yard line, almost set them up for a score. If I'm Calvary Christian, I'm not looking to pass the ball. I'm sticking with that triple option that's been reliable, that they've been practicing more than that passing game. Well, 3 receivers are sticking with no tight ends. Set to pass. They do. And it's going to be a curl, and it's going to be caught on Tyler Brown. That was number 18, the receiver. And he'll pick up about 5 on the play. We're looking at a 3rd and 3.
They do end up going to that passing game, and it works out for them because Belen looked a little flat-footed. They thought it was a run, but it ended up being a pass.
And a good curl route there. 5 yards to pick up. 3rd and 3. Are they looking to run the triple option once again, Bobby?
I mean, this short, that's what I would do. Or maybe they could throw a deep pass. You know, you never know.
3rd down, Wolverine fans.
Definitely don't know what to expect from these guys. An unpredictable team. They've been throwing out trick plays every once in a while. It's the run up the middle, number 5. He plows his way through, and he'll pick up a 1st down. Just a yard beyond the 1st down. And good blocking there. Calvary Christian, who's led by this running game, you bet they're going to have good blocking. And this quarterback, number 10, has not had a lot of time passing the ball, but he's looked decent. One pass was dropped for the interception. The other pass was on target, and he had a touchdown. Could this guy be a threat running and passing the ball later in the game?
Well, yeah, you can see he's really speedy. Sorry, we're cutting out here. You can see he's really speedy, and he could also throw a nice pass. So he's a big threat for Belen.
Well spoken. On the outside, that is number 10, getting the run. I'm sorry about that. Number 7 was the quarterback. Number 10, a wingback, who caught it to the outside and marked down 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Good stop by the Wolverine defense. It's going to be 2nd and long here.
Camden Walters was in there for the tackle at number 30. He is also a sophomore, and he played JV last year. He joined Belen last year as a freshman, and he didn't really play that much football before he joined last year. He was taught by Coach Pino on JV, and now he's playing on varsity.
Well, Brandon De Quesada talked about this interesting defense that Belen is going to run, and they've stuck with it here through the 2nd quarter, and it's worked well here through the 2nd. Set to run. Faking the pitch. He's got pressure from Gavin Schmarsland. He evades. He's going to get sacked. No, he loses his helmet. He's still running. Javi Brito trying to make the sack, and he loses his helmet. A flag down on the play. You would have to imagine that's on Brito.
Yeah, I think it's a face mask, which is a 15-yard penalty, which does give them the 1st down, which is not good for Belen because now they're in plus territory.
A killer there for the Wolverine defense. But can we take a moment to appreciate how quickly Gavinch got into the backfield?
After he got there, it seemed like everyone was in the backfield there, but Belen wasn't able to capitalize.
Yeah, G, who led the team in both tackles and sacks. He had 13 and a half sacks last year. And Davion Dixon, if you're wondering, had 7.5 as a freshman. G entering his 11th grade year. Looking to make a massive improvement as he's starting to get a lot more offers from D1 programs. One of the top defensive linemen in the country. Probably the best player on this team. He's the leader of this defense, playing under the system for Don for about 3 years now.
Number 18 lines up again on Tyler Brown, who he looks ready now, unlike he was before.
Well, the run, it's number 5. He's going up the middle. He might go all the way. It'll be a touchdown for Calvary Christian. The blocks were there, and the touchdown is there. 6 more for Calvary Christian. They'll take a 27-6 lead with 2.5 minutes left in the 2nd.
After a great defensive drive, Belen lets up a touchdown there, which was a really great run, and it looks like a flag for excessive celebrating for Calvary Christian, which is good for Belen.
Make it a longer extra point here. Set to take the extra point. Some confusion on both sides of the ball. The ref's now going to talk about it. But a good run there by number 5. He's been making plays all game. He is their kick returner. Number 5, we're taking a look at him. That's Reggie Haywood, the senior. 6 foot, 190. He's been the best player on this team so far. How do we stop him?
I mean, Belen's already stacked the box, but they just keep missing tackles and getting blocked. So they might want to go into a zone and play more back to try and tackle him instead of getting beat down in the trenches.
The running game has been deadly when number 5 has the ball. The extra point is set. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Number 17 coming out for his 4th extra point attempt so far. And they're holding off for a minute. Referee timeout here. Some confusion. And getting back into position, just looked like the referees weren't set yet. Extra point ready to get underway. Extra point is up and good. 4 of 4 on extra points. 28 points for Calvary Christian as they take the lead 28-6. We'll be back in a minute. Well, the kickoff set to go underway. He'll have to kick from the 25-yard line after the 10-yard penalty. The kick is up, and it's a good one to Bryce Fitzgerald, who will field it at the 20. He's got running room down on the right side. He's got open room. He's got one man to beat. He's going through. He makes a cut. He's still going down on the 26-yard line. An incredible return by Bryce Fitzgerald. We know he has it in him. And it looks like it's going to be a penalty on Calvary Christian for fighting possibly with what looked to be Victor Torres. Good job by Victor Torres drawing the penalty. Could have some extra yardage at the end of the kickoff return.
You could see Bryce's speed there. He really just started jogging and he just took off.
Yeah, it didn't even look like he was trying to run that fast. He was reading the blocks, doing a great job there. And we possibly have, well, we have some confusion once again on where the ball is getting placed and what the penalty is and who it's on. And we have a man down on the 42-yard line on Calvary Christian. An injury, and we'll be back in a minute. Well, the player was carted off the field. Our hopes and prayers go up to him. It's a handoff here to Rubio. Rubio cutting it, and he got stopped. Number 44 threw him down with some force. No penalty there. And if you're wondering what the penalty was, it was a taunting penalty on Calvary Christian after giving that incredible kick return run up.
Well, Javi, if you're Belen and you score a touchdown, do you go for 2?
Yeah, I'd probably go for 2 here. The lead is 28-6. Clock is running. 1:48 left. Calvary Christian will likely not have enough time to drive downfield and score again. You at least just want to cut it to 2 scores. Now Zach Sunderland coming back out on the field here, taking the place of Bryce Fitzgerald. And he will be playing in the slot along with Anthony Rubio. Tyler James out on the outside. And a flag is down now. It's a delay of game on the offense. So it'll be 2nd down and long. The clock stops at 1:22. And the Wolverines set to take on a 2nd and long. Bobby, are you looking to pass here with these 3 receivers?
Yeah, they're going a 3-receiver set, which is usually a pass, but they also have Kamani at running back, so it could easily be a run to him.
Jason Felix here at tight end. Rubio in motion. Miatis throwing it to Jason. He makes the one-handed grab. He drops it. So Jason Felix, 2 drops so far this game. A tough game for him. Miatis delivered on both those passes. He even had pressure there in his face. He's played really well this game with all the pressure. He's making good throws.
He had a lot of room there to run. Maybe it could have been a touchdown, but he dropped it.
Unfortunate to see. Tyler James coming off the field here. The blocking tight end, number 88, coming onto the field here. Zach Sunderland will also make his way off the field. Oh, coming back on. The Wolverines possibly set to pass. Zach Sunderland, 1 target, 1 touchdown. He played well last year, and he's showing why he should get that starting spot back. As we have 3 receivers, Bryce, Rubio, Sunderland. Miatis rolling out to his left, set to throw, steps up, throws. He's got an open man. And the 2 cornerbacks there to make a play. That was number 20 and 21 that converged on it. Miatis tried to force the ball in. Rubio was sitting there, almost had the touchdown, just an inch or 2 away. We're looking at what's going to be a long 4th down here.
It looks like Miatis' throws are too hard for the Calvary Christian defense to catch, which is good for the Belen offense because there could be 3 potential picks that happened throughout the game that didn't.
We know about Miatis' arm strength. He can throw really far, 60-plus yards we have seen him throw in game. And Belen is going to call timeout here. 4th and long, possibly looking at a field goal. We'll see 1:02 left. We'll be back in a minute. A surprise here, the Belen Wolverines on 4th and 13. They've got their offense out on the field. The snap to Miatis. He's looking to throw deep. Miatis, he's got time. He fakes the throw. He's trying to take off. He just throws it into the ground.
Not really anyone
and
open
a flag
there.
now coming in. It might have been on the defense, possibly a face mask. We're going to need to take a look at what that was. 50 seconds now. Miatis was running around for over 10 seconds. And it looks like it's going to be a penalty on the offense. So Calvary Christian will get the ball in a minute or 2, and we'll be back. We got 4 receivers out now. Calvary Christian is looking to pass the ball downfield. And they're throwing deep. Off the bat, he's got a man, and it's just out of reach. That was number 18, who's been the go-to receiver for Calvary Christian with 42 seconds left. It's going to be 2nd and 10. They're going for the deep shot. And make sure to stay after. During halftime, we're going to have a quick halftime show for you. Same guys that did the pregame, they're going to be here halftime, possibly postgame.
Well, that was the first deep pass for Calvary. Only a couple passes so far, but that one, a deep shot by the quarterback. And I'm surprised he had that arm strength because he's a run-first quarterback.
Yeah, clearly, but it looks like he can throw the ball too. The Eagles have been prolific running the ball. It's been responsible for most of their 28 points. But here, they're throwing the ball too, and they're showing that they can do it. But they're going to stick back with 3 running backs for this play. It'll be a run up the middle. Number 5, he's breaking off. Down the sideline. Number 5 is going to get pushed out of bounds on the 38-yard line in a massive run. He bounces to the outside. 30 seconds left. The clock is stopped. It'll be a long field goal if they try from here. They're going to have to get some more yardage.
A really great play there by Calvary. And it sucks to see because Belen just needed a quick stop there and the game would have ended. But, you know, now they have potential to get some more points, which isn't good for Belen.
Yeah, it looked like Calvary Christian was playing for just to run out the clock, play it safe. And set to throw, number 7, quick to the tight end in the flat, making his way to the outside, leans down his shoulder. He goes down in bounds. The clock is going to continue to run 20 seconds. Rushing, and it'll be a timeout. The timeout is called Calvary Christian with 19 seconds left. We'll be back in a minute. Well, Calvary Christian coming back out onto the field. They've got 1 running back, 5 offensive linemen, and that means 4 receivers, 2 on each side, twins, each lined up behind one another. All the way, 1 on the hash mark, 1 on the numbers.
This formation looks like a fake screen wheel, which could work, but because Belen only has 1 high safety.
They're throwing deep. And it's going to go over the hand of Lucas Amaya. Playing the deep ball there. Good job by Belen. A real weird formation, and they're able to play it really well.
Yeah, I would have gone for a more medium pass and called another timeout to set up the field goal. Now they're still out of field goal range, I think, unless their kicker has a very strong leg.
Yeah, kick from here would be about 38, 39 yards. And they're going to go with 4 receivers again, trips to the right. 1 running back who on the last play blocked. Possibly going to do that again. We'll see what he does. They're taking a shot at the end zone. You would have to imagine. Number 7 rolling out to his right. He's throwing it to his left. Wide open is number 18. Down on the 1. He loses his helmet. And there's a flag. So with 8 seconds left, the clock is going to stop because of a flag. And the wide receiver made the catch down on the 1. Hit real hard by, I think that was Lucas Amaya. His helmet knocked off. And that also looks to be Tyler Brown down 2. So the leading wide receiver for Calvary Christian, number 18, goes down, loses his helmet on a massive hit from Lucas Amaya. And Tyler Brown is down 2. Calvary Christian, number 18, is standing. Tyler Brown is still down.
From up here, it looked like a clean hit, but his helmet got knocked off. So I think the ref threw the flag. It looked like he led with his shoulder there and just hit him really hard.
I think they are calling that defenseless receiver, as all the players are taking a knee for Tyler Brown, who is still down on the ground. This injury might take a minute. And they're calling it, it's going to be targeting on Lucas Amaya. And a heartbreaking penalty because with 6.6 seconds left, they're going to have the ball on the 1 yard line, and they can just throw out the end zone as many times as they want. And he's going to walk off the field here. This injury might take a minute. He's still down on the ground. Tyler Brown, the freshman, will be back in a minute. But we are glad to see Tyler Brown walk off the field on his own power with his helmet off. Not sure if he's going to return again today. Omar Ortega is coming back onto the field now if they decide to play any cornerbacks. Because on the 1 yard line, on the 2 yard line, it looks like they're just going to try to punch it in real close.
All right, I'll let you take a little break. Let's wait.
And the coaches are on the field now discussing with the refs, arguing over that penalty. Interesting formation. Bryce Fitzgerald looked to be on the field for a moment, and he still is playing defense. He hasn't done that since JV last year.
He played safety last year, and he's a hard hitter, and he plays the ball really well. I believe he had a couple interceptions last year and a lot of tackles.
Well, it looks like they're set to run, as they've got number 5, their star running back in. Their star receiver is out on the sideline. He looks to be okay. Tyler Brown is going into the tent. More about that on the halftime show with Brandon Dicasala and Adrian Vidal. So set to take the snap. One running back in the backfield. It's a QB sneak. He falls down immediately. Oh, and he's going to go down, and it's going to be a timeout immediately by Calvary Christian. So 3.3 seconds left now. Bobby, are you going to throw or are you going to run it?
I think I'm going for a field goal here. Not enough time. I think the clock's going to run out if we try anything.
Bobby, you would be right. Offense is coming back into a huddle. We actually don't know if the field goal unit is coming out. It doesn't look like it. It's going to be a timeout, and we'll be back in a minute.
Let's make some noise.
Well, what will be the final play of the first half. The QB set to take the snap, and a couple defensive linemen jump. That'll give him the first down. Not that the down matters with only 3.5 seconds left, but that'll move him half the distance to the goal. I think that'll move him from the 3 to the 1.5.
Once again, Wolverine fans, let's go.
And ready to go again. Number 7, the QB, is going to hand it off. A muffed exchange. Belen stops him at the line. But they go in for the touchdown. The QB did enough to reach into the end zone. He dropped the ball and landed on it in the end zone somehow. An interesting play. A ridiculous way to end this first half. And it looks like we're going to go to an extra point right now. And the extra point with 0 seconds left will give Calvary Christian the lead of 35-0.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Just like the Zach Sunderland play, it was a missed opportunity from the defense that led to a touchdown.
Taking a look here, the extra point is up and it's good. Calvary Christian has delivered all first half. 35 points. Belen 6. And we're ready to send you down to our halftime show.
5, 4.
So the Wolverines and the Eagles are now at halftime, and the score is currently 35-6. The Wolverine team isn't really clicking right now, and Henry and Elian, what would you tell the players now at halftime? Sorry about the technical difficulties, but back to the question. How would you motivate these players and ignite them to play well now in the second half?
I mean, Bryce Fitzgerald with that nice return. He got all the way down to the 13-yard line with the penalty. I mean, that's the special teams. I mean, they've been lacking a little bit on this game, but I mean, there's nothing else to say. I mean, also, we can't forget about that nice touchdown. The nice touchdown by
Zach Sunderland.
Thank you, Zach Sunderland. And, by the way, the interception by Chanley, and I feel like that's going to motivate them in the locker room. What do you think about that, Henry?
I mean, the way I imagine it, there have been some pretty good plays. A lot of them I thought were going to be momentum swingers, but overall we've been struggling to get the ball moving. Anthony Rubio had a few good plays. Like that Zach Sunderland play definitely put us in a more positive mood. I think that's going to make a difference overall in team spirit. But right now, to answer your question, what I would have to say to them is...
It is a tough question, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I would say keep your hopes up. Yeah, it's a hard question.
We do still have a whole 24 minutes to play. It's not like this game is over.
This game's only half over. So we still have a ton more time to play, and I think we could be looking at a change if right now, as we speak, there's a huge gym locker room speech.
Yeah. Some bright spots on defense have been Stefan Borrero. He's had a lot of very good tackles, and the defensive line has really been stepping it up. The run game, we've done a decent job containing the run game, and the pass rush is getting to the quarterback, even though we may not have gotten sacks or, knockdowns, but we're still putting pressure on the quarterback. And obviously that big hit by Lucas Amaya at the end really silenced everyone, and I think it's going to be a big talking point for the Wolverine defenses. He might be out for the game because of targeting, so they're going to have to, play for him and make sure that they don't lose in vain, and they live up to it. Yeah.
I mean, like you were saying, that targeting call, the refs, I mean, it was a huge hit. The guy was down immediately. You could see spit coming out of his mouth. It was ridiculous. But we reviewed the play. We got reviewed the play, and not only did we see it was not targeting, or or college. This is high school football. So you can't really, get mad at the refs for that call. I mean, the kid was down. Could have been a concussion. Maya, I'm pretty sure, will be out. Heard the refs talking. They said he's ejected. And if you were the offensive coach, what would you tell them, Brandon?
I would say we gotta start putting it together because our passing hasn't been great. Our running game hasn't been great. We just gotta put all the pieces together, figure out what they're doing on defense, and what are some ways that we can counter it to put some points on the board, because that is ultimately what we need right now.
Actually, if I could step in here, I think our passing game it's been good.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like I said before, Bryce Fitzgerald is by far, and you saw it throughout the entire game. He is
The favorite target.
he's his favorite wide receiver. He's Andy's favorite wide receiver, and you could see it. He's made huge plays. He's brought the team spirit. I also got word that that Andy's pass is left-handed. And you've seen before, he has a strong arm.
Yeah.
Right? And last night, all I could do was just look at past games of Andy Miara's being quarterback for their starter for the last 2 years. And to be honest, that left arm is it's crazy. And him and Bryce have that chemistry.
And talking about that left hand, I mean, we've been seeing it a lot through this time. Miaris, these players the defense isn't used to the left hand. I mean, our offense are used to the left hand. I mean, Bryce Fitzgerald got used to it. I talked to him earlier today in class, and I was talking to him about, how's it like to have a left hand quarterback, and he told me, well, it was definitely hard at first, but he was able to, get used to it. And of course, like we talked about, he's his favorite target. I mean, I believe Bryce is 6-something, very big, strong, and he's a great player. And Kamani as well. I mean, he got a couple runs. He got stuffed a little bit, and our O-line needs to, get a little bit more tough and a little bit of a spark. And I think coaches in the locker room, they're gonna talk to him and maybe hopefully spark something. And I think that's it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously last week we were down 31-0 at half. I think this will be a similar situation where we go in at half and we kick into another gear and, start coming back in this game. But I think the difference is that this week we go all the way and we finally figure out what we've been looking for on both offense and defense.
Yeah, I think for the second half, I'm going to predict it. I think we're going to see a big boost in both offense and defense. Our team's going to look good. And I'm feeling positive, to be honest. I mean, even though Christian Calvary has kickoff next game, I think our defense has been looking up a lot more. And I think we have to look forward to the second half of the entire game.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about it for the halftime show. Back to you, Booth.
Belen set to kick off to start the third quarter. The kicker, Lucas Avino, will give the ball to Calvary Christian up 35-6. And what was a tough first half for Belen Jesuit, they're looking to turn it around.
Well, in the preseason game, they were able to turn it around. I think the score's a little bit less manageable than the other game, but maybe they could do a comeback.
Yeah, we got some bad news. Lucas Amaya Sr. out of the game for targeting. And he'll be down on the 30-yard line. So the Belen defense will come back out on the field. Gavin Marsland, the star of the defense here, is yet to get a sack here in this game.
He almost had one, but the QB escaped, and then they got a face mask. That was a great defensive play, but just a mistake there.
Yeah, this has been a very difficult game here. And a lot of running plays, constant running of the ball. And something to remember, Tyler Brown is out with an injury. Omar Ortega taking his place. The running back in motion. It's going to be up the middle. A run again. Stopped here, down, and he'll lose a yard. They'll mark him on the 30-yard line once again.
The tackle made there by G, who we were just talking about, he's been a force all night. You know, they haven't been going to his side because of how strong he is. You know, he's getting around the edge, but no sacks yet for him.
Yeah, it's been the middle of the offensive. It's been the middle of the defensive line that has not been able to make these tackles. All these big runs have gone right up the middle. And we're looking at wide receiver number 17, a receiver that we've not seen a lot of coming out here for Calvary Christian. Quarterback number 7 set to take the snap. Going up the middle, trying to bounce it to the outside. It's not going to work. The tackle made once again, this time by Gavin Schmarcelin.
You can see Snooch, also known as Nicholas Sanchez, is still out there. He had a great game on the preseason game against Gulliver, and he's done really good today. You know, no passes caught on him and a lot of tackles.
I mean, he's really stepped it up. Last year didn't see much playing time at all, and all of a sudden he's a star, and he's played great in these last 2 games. Belen defense, 3rd and 10. 4 receivers out, 1 running back. Quarterback set to throw. He's going to pitch it off, getting to the outside, down the sideline, and the running back will go out of bounds a yard before the first down. Will they give it to him? It doesn't look like they will.
Well, another missed tackle by Belen leads to a big play. You know, when the D-line and the linebackers miss a tackle, it's really poor tackling from the safeties and the corners, and they're able to get a lot of yardage.
Yeah, Belen finished the season last year 7-3, but started off with a loss last year. So now we're looking at a 2-receiver set as they do move the chains. The handoff up the middle stopped once again. So 3 straight times that they try to run it up the middle, and it does not work for Belen.
So they went to the middle run early in the game. They got a touchdown. Then they did a play action and scored. But now Belen's shutting it down, which is really good for the defense.
Omar Ortega, who is the cornerback that's taking the place of Tyler Brown, who's out with an injury, not on the sideline, not anywhere to be seen. Lucas Amaya also not in the game. So 2 losses on defense. Remember, this is their first regular season game without all the seniors and multiple transfers. This defense is struggling without really knowing who's who and who's starting, and we're going to see a lot of changes over the upcoming games. And a big tackle, made by Gavin Schmarcelin. Stefan Guerrero shot down the field, almost had the tackle, but slowed him down enough for Gavin Schmarcelin to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Great play there by Belen.
So that was Gavin Schmarcelin, who we've talked about getting multiple offers. His first offer was from Syracuse in 9th grade. Kamani also got one from Syracuse and USC. Those are the 2 leaders of this team on offense and defense in offers here. We're looking at a 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 here. The offense ready to get back out on the field. Can the defense make the stop? 3 receivers to your right. 1 on your left. Number 7 set to take the snap. Looking, he's throwing downfield. He's got a wide open man. And it's just over his hands. Number 20 got by his defender. but the throw is just not there.
He had a couple of options there, but he overthrew it a little, which is good for Belen because that was a blown coverage.
Yeah, I mean, 2 receivers were open for a touchdown, and he overthrew one of them. Calvary Christian, they would have scored 41 points here to start the third quarter. 8:45 left as Calvary Christian is set to punt. We have 2 returners here. We've seen this earlier in the game, but they haven't punted in a while, so I'll remind you, Anthony Rubio, Bryce Fitzgerald, your 2 returners here.
In some district news, Homestead beat Palmetto yesterday in their first game of the season. We play them later on, and I'm not sure if it's at Belen or Homestead, but we need to get those district wins to make the playoffs.
Well, it's a far punt, and it's going to go all the way inside the 10. Bryce is going to field it on the 3-yard line. He's trying to make something out of nothing. He's going on the 15, on the outside, down the sideline, on the 30, still in bounds. A spin move, and they'll put him out of bounds. On the 36-yard line, he was still running, but they marked him out of bounds on the 37.
The punt landed at the 30. It bounced back all the way to the 5, and Bryce had a 30-yard return, which just really shows his athleticism and speed.
An excellent punt. The punter lined up on the 25-yard line, booted it 75 yards, and Bryce, an incredible return, took it from the 2 to the 37. The offense looking to use that momentum, hopefully, to put up some more points on the board. Taking a look here, Jason Felix will come out here, and Bryce Fitzgerald coming back in on receiver. So we notice the last drive was finished with Zach Sunderland taking his place at receiver.
Zach with the only touchdown here for Belen. They went for a fake extra point to get the 2 points, but it didn't work out.
Belen's offense has been led by Andres Miares, as you know, for the last couple years now. And Miares is now looking at a brand new formation. We're looking at a brand new formation with a brand new receiver who's taking the ball. It's Nico Vieto. Down on the 35 on the sweep. He'll lose a yard.
They tried that play to the weak side, which it was smothered because he didn't really have a lot of room. I mean, they ran the same play to Anthony Rubio, and he got a lot of yards, but they ran to the strong side, which I think is a lot better.
Nicholas Vieto taking the sweep. Nicholas, who got a lot of time last year. Nico, who's talked about having some of the best hands on this team, making up for his lack of speed. He's not as fast as some guys like Bryce Fitzgerald here, who really show that speed. They have the size, the athleticism, and everything with them. Bo is now here at running back with Kamani Alexander. Kamani, who led the team in total touchdowns last year. We'll get to that in a moment. Bo running, he's stuffed immediately. He goes down, he'll lose another yard. It'll be 3rd and long. But Kamani Alexander had 10 total touchdowns last year.
Not what we're used to seeing from Bo and the O-line, because against Gulliver, Bo had a lot of open room, and this O-line is kind of falling apart this game. You know, we couldn't get the run game going, just a couple runs here and there. Not a good show for Belen.
Belen has struggled to put points on the board. Their 14 points against Gulliver were against their backups. Miatis now heading out onto the field. They're looking to throw the ball here on 3rd and 12. What are they looking to do, Bobby?
I mean, they could try another deep ball to Bryce Fitzgerald, but their corners are playing 5 yards off. They have a lot of room to run with them, so maybe they try something to another receiver.
Well, Miatis set to throw, feeling pressure immediately. He just throws it into the ground. And it'll be 4th down and long, no intentional grounding, and set for another punt this game. 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Belen will give it back to Calvary Christian.
Only a couple sacks today, but Miatis has been constant pressure. He's done a great job of running around and rolling out, but not being able to make the throw.
Despite the low amount of points, you have to give credit where credit is due. Miatis has played incredibly well with a lack of blocking. He's been under pressure all day. That touchdown throw, he was getting sacked as he threw it. Miatis has played a very good game, and we love to see his growth as a leader and as a player. A punt here by Noah Zumpano. It's a good punt. Definitely his best one so far, and it bounces off Rubio. It'll land on the 38. It was set to have a good bounce inside the 30. But falling off Rubio, put him down on 38. Calvary Christian, are they looking to run here, Bobby?
I mean, I would try the triple option for them because that has never failed them, unlike the inside run or the throw.
That's right. And Tyler Brown is back in the game here as cornerback. Omar Ortega taking a seat for now. And it looks like Calvary Christian is huddling up for a quick moment, making their way out onto the field, and the refs blow the whistle as they set to take the field. The triple option, Bobby, has been lethal for this team. Are they going to pass it all anymore this game?
I mean, I wouldn't. I would just try to run out the clock and play good defense, you know. If they want to run up the score, I mean, they can, but that's pretty risky if they want to end the game.
The triple option has worked really well, and they're going back to it. The handoff up the middle will pick up 3 yards. And every single play, it feels like number 10 is going for a little bit of a bubble, back around the quarterback, and it could be a nice fake handoff and a pitch, and it's worked really well for them.
Well, the triple option all comes down to IQ. You know, the QB has to make the right decision. You see a lot where the QB tries the pitch and he gets tackled and it goes backwards and there's a fumble.
You're right about that. The QB, a couple muffled snaps actually, 2 in a row on the goal line. One of them did result in a touchdown. We have 2 wide receivers here out on the field for Calvary Christian. 3 backs. Set to make the run. It's number 5 again, who's going to pick up 5 yards. That'll make it a 3rd and 4 as Calvary Christian is looking to run down the clock. The clock is running with under 6 minutes to go. Calvary Christian has looked really consistent with this running game, and number 5 has led the way. That was Nicholas Leon and Joey Toledo making the tackle.
Brings up a 3rd down. All right, Wolverine fans.
Well, in comes Michael Suarez, the D tackle. He plays nose guard, and he's a really big body, you know. He stuffs up the A gap, and it stops him from getting the run game going.
3rd and 3. It's the quarterback taking it. He's going to pick up the 1st down and way more. And that's number 25 getting blocked downfield, but he's going to make the tackle with help from Stefan Borrero. And a good job there. It looks like he was getting held, but he somehow made his way off as the players are calling for a holding signal. And down again. Another defender for Belen Jesuit.
Stefan with a great run down there. That would have been a touchdown if he didn't use his speed there to get him.
Can't quite tell who that is. Laying down on the ground. Could be safe. Could be a safety over here that we're looking at. Possibly Stefan Borrero. And really unfortunate, this team has had a couple guys go down with injuries. Tyler Brown, who went down, is back out on the field. And this team just looks to be struggling. Fatigued, possibly cramps. Cramps were a major issue last game. That could just be in here. That's what we're hoping for. And that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's really humid. That's why they have a state-regulated water break every quarter. You know, a lot of cramps go down because of the heat and the lack of water, so we need to make sure to hydrate if we want to stay in this game.
We'll be back in a moment after the injury. Stefan Borrero getting up. Something that we love to see here. Stefan Borrero has played great at safety, getting back up. It just looked to be a cramp. He's walking off the field here. He made the tackle on the last play, possibly saving a touchdown.
Yeah, that QB is very fast. Stefan had to use a full sprint there, leading to a cramp.
Number 10, number 5, number 7, the 3 guys that have run the ball for Calvary Christian, they've done it well. Each one of them seeing the end zone at least once, maybe through the air, maybe on the ground. Set to take the snap, Calvary Christian. In motion again, it's the pitch number 10, a flag is up. He makes a move, another one, he's still going, and stumbles down on the 8-yard line.
A lot of missed tackles there. I mean, a bad showing for Belen throughout the entire game with missed tackles.
Missed tackles have been a major issue here as Gamish Marsland makes his way back out onto the field. Probably the safest tackler that we have. But the flag is looking to move Calvary Christian back as the refs talk over the penalty. That was Camden Walters now coming out onto the field as well. Camden Walters started last year on JV, hadn't played a single snap of football, didn't even know what football was. And all of a sudden, he makes his way to a starter in one game, and he's a star player of the JV team. Now he's on varsity getting reps as a 10th grader. Incredible story for Camden Walters. And they are going to give the first down to Calvary Christian. They're taking back the flag, and they're going back to 2 receivers, 3 running backs. Are Calvary Christian set to throw here?
I don't think so. They have number 10 at the wing position, number 5 at the other wing, and number 33 at fullback, which looks like a very tight offense. Only 2 receivers out.
So 4 guys that can get the run. The quarterback can take it himself, and that's worked this drive. Number 10 had that big run right now, and number 5 started off the drive with it. And the play is now going underway. Quarterback making some changes here. Reading the Belen defense here. He's done a good job of it. He's put up 35 points with that. Set to take the snap. Number 7 dropping back. He's going to pass a fade, and it's going to be caught. A touchdown for Calvary Christian on the fade.
That was a really good throw. There's nothing the defender could do about that. It went right through his arms.
And a great play. That's number 20. You might notice him. He's played defense and offense today. He's actually one of the guys that gave up that touchdown by Zach Sunderland. But here he is scoring a touchdown of his own on offense.
Number 17 back out to kick. He's kicked a lot today.
Yeah, if he makes this, he'll be 6 of 6 on extra points. 4 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third. Some confusion with substitutions here for Calvary Christian. The Eagles struggling. The refs holding up for a bit. And now set to take the extra point is number 17, who's seen the field 13 times this game. This will be his 6th extra point. And the extra point is up and away and through the uprights. So Calvary Christian takes a 41-6 lead on Belen Jesuit. And we'll be back after the kick.
On the Wolverines.
So there was a roughing the passer penalty on the Wolverines. The kickoff will now take place on the 45-yard line. And the Wolverines also are going to be facing a running clock for the rest of this game. 2:22 and counting. Bryce Fitzgerald is set to take back the kickoff if this does not go into the back of the end zone.
Calvary Christian with some new faces in.
And the kick is up, and it's a high kick, and it'll make its way into the end zone. So you saw a shot there of Andres Miatis talking with Coach Chaney. Miatis will take the field now, possibly looking to throw the ball more as they are down 1 minute 49 seconds and counting in the third quarter. Bobby, if you were the offensive coordinator, what would you try to call here on this first play?
I mean, I would go with an all-passing offense right now because the running game is not working. Start off with a short pass and then try and set up the deep ball because Belen really needs to score right now.
Well, Boas found his way onto the field again. The number 2 running back who had a good game last week, along with Anthony Rubio, who's also in at running back. So an interesting formation with number 40, that looks to be. And Miatis going to hand it off to Rubio, who lowers his shoulder. And he'll get to the 19-yard line. Sorry, to the 21-yard line. And the Wolverines offense, this rushing game has really just struggled other than one drive.
You can see a lot of tension out here on the field. After that tackle, there's a Calvary Christian player talking smack to Anthony Rubio. You hate to see it. And also, it looks like Gamish Marcelino's hurt because he's working with the trainer.
It's unfortunate. Number 25 is also in the trainer's tent. Number 25, Nicholas Sanchez, who's made a couple plays so far this season, and an interception in the preseason game that got taken back. So under a minute left, the running clock resumes, and Belen will likely have one play before the end of the third quarter. 2 wide receivers out. Bo is out on the field at running back. And Miatis will hand it off right up the middle. And it's stuffed early on. That was number 40 with the carry. Sorry, number 20, Christian Soto. So in a couple minutes, we will have Drew for you at the end of the third quarter here with a quick report on how this quarter went and what this team is planning to do. So third down, if they have time to go, 10 seconds left and counting. The Wolverines will not have time to take another snap here in the third quarter. The end of the third quarter, 42-6 will be your score. Your Wolverines are down on the Calvary Christian Eagles. And now we take you to Drew Candela. Miatis set to take the snap. Throwing it to number 13. That's Tyler James, his first target of the game. Pass is broken up by number 22. And we were not able to take it to Drew Candela. As to speed up the time of this game, they just decided to go straight into the fourth quarter.
Another tip pass by Calvary and almost another pick. You know, potentially 5 picks could have been made this game, which is not a good look for Belen. Looking a little careless with the ball.
Well, Belen will have to back up now, as it is 4th down and the punt unit comes out. Noah Zumbano set to punt again. Noah Zumbano on the bright side has been an excellent punter for us. Preseason game and this opening season game. And taking a look here, Calvary Christian has their returner set on the 45-yard line.
Yeah, number 20 has been dangerous all day today for Calvary Christian, with either he's receiving the ball, covering, returning. You know, he's been a problem for Calvary.
You have to imagine he's tired. It feels like he's in on every drive. Special teams, offense, defense. He's in on this play, set to return it. Makes the fair catch on the 45. And Calvary Christian's offense will come out. A running clock, 10:52 and counting.
some pushing and shoving going on there after the punt.
So just over 10.5 minutes left in this game. Belen looks to be sticking with the same defensive formation they have this whole game. 5 defensive linemen, a couple linebackers, a couple corners, and a couple safeties. Not working out too well, though. This triple option has been quite deadly.
Yeah, I think they're just going to try and run out the clock here. There's still 10 minutes left, I believe, in the game. So they probably won't be able to run out the entire clock, but this might be their last drive on offense.
Love to see some other guys getting in. Omar Ortega back in on defense for Tyler Brown, who's taking a break. This Calvary Christian does not even set up with a receiver. Just a handoff up the middle, pick up 5 yards here. Belen has been stumped by these inside runs, seemingly pick up 3-4 yards every carry.
Even with Davey on there on the inside, the blocking has been really good for Calvary, and the linebackers just can't make the tackle.
Nick Leon coming out of the substitution. Nick Leon is a player who's come on and off the field. He's played a good game for his limited time, his limited reps. Hope he can get on the field more. That's number 52. And number 99 coming onto the field, that's Andres Rionda, a starter who's played well. Calvary Christian set to take the snap early. Man in motion. It's the pitch to number 1, getting to the outside, trying to cut around Omar. Omar, a huge tackle. And a great play by Omar.
Omar's really fast, and he covers really well as being able to tackle really good, and a holding on Calvary.
And some sort of a positive here for the Wolverine defense. It'll be 2nd down and long, as the Wolverines will choose to accept the penalty. And another penalty here. It's a block in the back and a face mask. So a couple penalties on this play alone. They will choose the face mask penalty, which will back them up the most. So 2nd and long for Calvary Christian.
That wasn't a face mask. It was illegal hands to the face, which is it's a really bad because it could really mess up someone's neck. An injury happened to our team this year where someone got blocked in the face mask and he hurt his neck.
You're right about that, Bobby. 3 running backs in the backfield, 2 receivers out. Calvary Christian possibly get a pass. Running clock anyway. So it doesn't matter if they throw an incompletion, but they're going to run it up the middle, and they'll pick up a yard on the play, maybe.
They're just trying to run out the clock here. This game is narrowing down to an end and a bad show for Belen.
Belen, who's struggled all game. One positive is different guys getting reps. Joey Toledo coming in now, hoping to make a couple tackles. Chanley Pierre, the sophomore who had the interception, the highlight of this game, played well. He's coming out now. Jake Gamejo, defensive tackle, is coming in now, the senior, getting in some playing time, along with Samir Lola, number 44, getting onto the field. Well, 3 receivers out, a look Belen was not expecting. Calvary Christian set to pass, and another receiver to the left. Quarterback was set to run, stopped immediately, false start on the offense. So that'll back him up even more. It'll be 3rd and about 20.
A negative for Calvary today is they've had a lot of penalties going their way. Like, they've had a lot of offensive penalties and defensive penalties. You know, it usually happens in the first game of the season. You know, you're undisciplined, you know, not a lot of contact in practice. And now you're out here and you're trying to block, so you're holding, and you're anticipating the play, so you false start.
Well, trying to give you as many updates on time as possible. Now under 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Still setting up with multiple receivers. 4 here on this play, and a running back in the backfield. Some issues lining up for Calvary Christian. Quarterback set to take the snap. We know he can throw downfield. All the wide receivers are going downfield, and that pass will go nowhere. So that'll lead to a 4th down and Calvary Christian punt with 6.5 minutes to go.
Great coverage from Stefan and Omar there. You know, no wide receivers open. He just chucked in, hoped someone would catch it.
Yeah, Omar trying to earn that starting spot back. Good coverage there. He's played well for the limited time he's had. Doing well on special teams, too. We know he's a smart guy. We know he's a great leader. Glad to see him back out on the field making plays. 2 punt returners back. Looks to be 2 different guys. It's Nico Vieto and what looks to be Christian Soto. So some issues with Belen's substitution. Wrong guys coming on and off the field. And this just been very difficult for Belen. Substitutions and everything has just seemingly gone wrong here.
Yeah, and let's see if Belen can get a score here just to end the game.
Under 6 minutes to go. It's a high punt. Not much more than that. It's a good Belen bounce. And it'll land on the 37-yard line, sorry. So coming back out onto offense, Anthony Rubio and Nico Smith, a couple substitutions made as we get some new faces here on the field.
There's still 5 minutes left, so Belen can have like a nice drive and end the game on a win. For a team that's had a lot of losses today.
State mandatory water break coming up now. We'll be back in a minute. And a lot of new faces on either side of the ball, Calvary Christian and Belen Jesuit. One of those, wide receiver Nico Smith, lined up at the top of your screen. Miatis throwing it to Rubio. It's picked off, number 9. He's looking to return it. He's got some speed. Going down the sideline. He's getting by everybody. It's going to be a pick 6 for Calvary Christian. The Eagles, 4.5 minutes left in the game, continue to score. That'll be a 48-6 lead now for the Eagles.
Miatis just went for a desperation throw, and it was picked off. You know, the entire game, Belen's throwing offense has not been very good, just like it wasn't last week. I mean, they seem to be forcing the deep ball, which isn't a good look for Belen because it's led to a lot of broken up passes.
The deep ball, though, has been the only thing that's seemingly worked for them. On their only score, it came on a 40-yard pass to Zach Sunderland on a lucky tip. This team, under 4 minutes left, doesn't look like they'll put up any more points in the game. And it's a really tough showing for Belen Jesuit. What are we expecting, Bobby, from their next game?
Hopefully Belen can have another good week of practice, you know, put in all the work in, you know, fix their mistakes, and then come out next week strong.
It's a good point here, Bobby, as Belen's special teams unit looks to come back out on the field. Kicker number 17, set to make another kick today. The extra point is up. The extra point is good. And Belen Jesuit, for those of you wondering, set to play against True North in our next game. So 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Running clock here. True North, we can start talking about that now. I mean, a team that Belen should be able to compete with, and it's going to be here at home. WBLN will be broadcasting that game.
And the week after, we're traveling over to Fairfield, Connecticut, where Belen plays Fairfield Jesuit, which should be a good game.
Should be a really competitive game. Two teams around the same skill level, and we're looking at an interesting returning unit with Stefan Morero, Bryce Fitzgerald, and Christian Soto all out to return, but some issues with Calvary Christian trying to sub in some guys that don't normally get playing time to get onto the field here. So we're looking at some substitution issues late here for them. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in this game. And a reminder that after the game, we will take you to a post-game show featuring Brandon De Quesada, Henry Gonzalez, and Adrian Vidal. Belen on offense and defense has really struggled today. The big part has been that rushing attack, the triple option that's really killed these guys. They thought they had a plan, and it didn't work. 49 points, a killer. Belen Jesuits, just defense not able to stop Calvary Christian. Bobby, what's the key as we go against True North?
I mean, today we ran a really strange defense that didn't seem to work out, so maybe we could go back to cover 2, cover 3 next week, and we could see our defense that we usually see.
Stefan Bodero sets a field. He's got a couple guys coming at him. Cutting up field, and he'll fall down on the 31-yard line. A minute, 15 seconds left. The offense may be able to get a play or two more in. Number 18 possibly set to take the field. If you're wondering, number 18 is Mitch Musi, the backup quarterback. We know he's got a good amount of accuracy. He could possibly get in a play or two. Maybe just a handoff, maybe a throw. We'll see here. Mitch Musi, we know he can throw. He's been kind of sporadic, playing on the team, not playing on the team, but he's looked pretty good while he's been on the team.
Yeah, Mitch, he's more of an accuracy quarterback than a power throwing quarterback, and he has a really smart IQ, and he can make really great decisions.
Well, back on into the field, Nico Vieto and Anthony Rubio. 30 seconds left, last play of the game. It's a handoff to Bo, who's tackled immediately on the 31-yard line. And with 20 seconds left, Belen will let the clock run out. And an unfortunate loss for Belen Jesuit, falling 49-6. A struggle game as a triple option really kills his team.
Yeah, I'm Bobby Caballero.
And I'm Javier Fernandez. Thank you for joining WBLN. We're going to take you down to our postgame show.
So now that the game is finished versus with the Wolverines and the Eagles, I think it's just going to be an overall big learning experience for the Wolverines because this is our first game out. It's a very young roster. I think that both Coach Cheney and Coach Crow are going to be watching a lot of film to make sure that next week they master and they make sure that they know what they're doing to make sure that next week this won't happen again and we can be better prepared for the opponent.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Brandon. Our number one receiver today was Bryce Fitzgerald. He played amazing. Unfortunately, the team couldn't do anything. I thought during the halftime, had a little bit of a spark in the halftime. Saw Rubio had a huge hit. We'll talk about that. Running back super fast, and he got a huge hit off. That was ridiculous, crazy. He plays offense, and somehow he's able to manage that. Other running backs that did well, Bo Humphrey, got the name right, and Kamani. Kamani was stopped a little bit, but he did his part. What do you think, Henry?
So I think Calvary Christian did a lot to hurt our linemen on both offense and defense. I also think it was hard to run the ball and also to stop their runs. In the first quarter, we were really pushed behind because they kept catching the ball, by the 30-yard line. So any good plays, which their game was on point, let's face it. Any plays they made was a touchdown. We saw that 3 times in a row, and ultimately that cost us the first half, and in the second half, we couldn't do much to fix it. We were tied the entire second half, and also tired out. So I think it has a lot to say with how the players were dealing with the game. I think that should about wrap it. I think by next game, we play True North. The coach will have our players ready, and we'll be a lot more in our game.
I think overall, this is just a really massive learning experience for the team, and they're gonna come back next week stronger because if they don't experience the losses, they don't get motivated to play better the next week. And this is just the young guys who maybe haven't played a snap, like Cam, who came in at linebacker, who was a stud on JV last year. He got his first varsity playing time, and now next week or maybe down the line in the season, we can see him really shine and as he learns from this game and the preseason game.
Henry Artis, he played pretty well. He got a couple throws in. Unfortunately, the O-line couldn't help them out this game. They were struggling a little bit today. Last game they were struggling as well, but I've seen them play. I've know the players well, pretty well, and they told me that they got to work together, come out as a team, and they have to help out Miatis as best as they can because Miatis was getting sacked. He had to run out. He ran out right, and it's hard for Miatis to throw when he's going right because he's a lefty. So, as Miatis, he did great. Could improve. He played phenomenal. I mean, other than that, he played pretty well. And the punters, we can't forget to mention the special teams today. Lucas Avino with a nice kick. Unfortunately, got blocked. The O-line wasn't able to do anything with that one. They went through, and Lucas Avino was going to hit a nice field goal. Zumbano with a nice punt. Very accurate. They went short, but very accurate, very precise. The senior being able to play very well for Belen, and he's done very well this last year. And Adrian Muea with the nice kickoff returns. He played phenomenal. What about you, Brandon? What do you think about him? Think about the special teams.
I think that obviously the line just overall needs to work on collaborating more, but I think the kickers and the punters did a really good job today.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And Henry, you were the defensive guy today. How'd you feel about the defense? I mean, coming out of the half, we were expecting them to, brighten up and, spark that fire that we were talking about earlier. What do you think they did?
I mean, clearly there wasn't that much change because the score never really it didn't make a difference in the second half, and we never got another touchdown. But it does also reflect how our defense was up. We actually managed to block their plays and stop their runs a lot more times than we did in the first half, and for multiple reasons too. The circumstances were just bad for us as well. Our team has a lot to improve on, and it was just a kickoff game. Ton of games this season, and yeah, I think, to be honest, we have a good season to look forward to, and this is a fresh start because there's only one way to build up from a loss. And yeah, so this is WBLN postgame. Your postgame hosts Henry Gonzalez,
Adrian Vidal,
and Brendan de Quesada. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next Friday.